Hi, I'm Devon. I'm the wine club manager here at Syrah.
I'm Lily. I'm the Director of Education and Hospitality at Syrah. This is Brody, our winery dog.
And today we are tasting through the wines in your club shipment. 2019 Chardonnay from Bent Rock Vineyard. Love this vineyard. Love our Chardonnays here at Syrah Wine Company. This one, when we make these Chardonnays, we don't want, either big oaky buttery or just stainless steel bright in one note. This one, long complexity and long finish.
You can see I gave us a nice hefty pour of this one. I absolutely love all of the Chardonnays that we do at Syrah. I'm really fired up on our Chardonnay program. We've been making them since 2017, so still in their infancy, but I find that these wines get better and better every year. The only thing is that we sell out of them, so unless you're very patient, it's hard to try the back vintages of these wines, but I feel that all of the textural and flavor complexity allows them to age, unlike many Chardonnays from this area. I think that the minerality and the uplifted marine sediment really shows through in the Chardonnay grape, maybe the most out of any grape in the area. You always get a nice sea spray mineral element both on the nose and on the palate. We also leave these wines sur-lie while we age them. So as we stir those barrels, you get a lot of textural elements coming into the wine. So it has weight on the palate, but then it still has that bright acid to clean it up at the end of your sip.
Oh yeah, that's what I get most. It's bright, it's fresh, it's vibrant on the palate. It doesn't sit and it's cloying.
Yeah, not heavy, but very complex. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yep. So our next wine is the 2018 Pinot Noir from Rancho Vina Vineyard.
Great, thank you. This is probably my favorite vineyard for Pinot Noir. Definitely my favorite vineyard to visit. Every time you go up to Rancho Vina, Devon often says that the most beautiful vineyards make the most beautiful wines, and I think that has to be true. Based on Rancho Vina Vineyard, it's actually been in the same family for over 150 years. It was originally a Spanish land grant, and they really know this property well. It has natural springs on the property, so water moving through the vineyard from natural springs, and I think that really helps with the fruit purity in this vineyard. The fruit is also always very, very dense and flavorful when we bring it in, so we're able to do a large proportion of whole cluster on these wines, which both brings up the tannin and texture, but also softens it, so incredibly ageable wine.
Absolutely, and this one in particular, it has wonderful
the spice.
Spice and structure and creaminess. This one really has wonderful mouthfeel to my palate. The Rancho Vina Vineyard, it's usually my favorite. Those of you who've maybe seen me in the Los Olivos tasting room know we have all the jars, the different soils we work with. The Rancho Vina, that's the dark, rich, black soil. Really wonderful fruit coming from Rancho Vina.
And then a nice cool site on the western side of Santa Rosa Road, so you still retain that really bright acidity. North facing, so you get the afternoon sun, but then very, very close to the ocean, so you get those nighttime fogs to really arrest that acid and keep it bright. Yep. Beautifully balanced wine.
And those of you who are taking our winemaker selection for the shipment, you're also getting our 2014 Rancho Vina, so you have a wonderful chance to compare those two vintages.
Yeah. Okay. You love that wine.
I do. That's probably my favorite in our whole catalog, but this one's young. Give this a few more years in your cellar. This might be my favorite.
All right.
Yeah. So this is our Pinot Noir from Rancho Vina Vineyard for the year 2014. This might be my favorite wine in our entire catalog. I've really loved this wine for years now, and with the age it's had on it, it's really drinking wonderfully right now.
I get so much savory character from this wine. I think that it has aged enough that the fruit has started to recede into the background. Usually the Rancho Vina wines are so fruit forward. The fruit is so dense. So the fruit has started to mellow on this, and I think that it retains the really soft tannin. The tannin has softened, and then kind of the tertiary flavors are beginning to come into the forefront. So a little bit of that saline character, so close to the ocean. So I think that mineral character really comes through on this wine. It's almost a little sanguine and really spicy and savory.
All those flavors you're talking about, they've met the fruit and they're balancing with it. It's just really drinking beautifully right now.
I think it's peaking.
Yep.
Ooh.
Time to drink this wine.
So next we have 2018 Pinot Noir from Radian Vineyard.
So, story time about this wine. I was working in the cellar the day we brought this fruit in, and our winemaker Matt Brady saw the stems on this and said, "These are the best stems we've seen all harvest. We're going to do this one 100% whole cluster," which was absolutely the right call. Now, I had spent that hour and a half that morning cleaning and sanitizing the destemmer in preparation for this pick, but still the right call. And the stems and the whole cluster inclusion really give this one such wonderful structure.
It's a big wine.
It's a big Pinot, for sure.
Ooh, you get it on the nose, but then you also get it on the palate. I think that this wine is just full of power, but again, Radian Vineyard on the far, far west side, even more far west than Rancho Vina Vineyard, nice and cool and retains that acidity. It's at the very, very top. Our block is at the top of the vineyard. It just gets ravaged by the cold wind.
Yeah.
The clusters come in, a normal Pinot cluster is like this big. These ones are like this big, tiny berries, lots of concentration, thick skins. So it's really able to hold up to that 100% whole cluster. There's not a lot of Pinot that you can do that with and achieve something so elegant.
This is gorgeous. The fruit balances with the spice. This is one of our smallest yields and smallest production lots.
4 barrels, yep.
4 barrels produced. So this one's exclusive to you members in the Cellar and Collectors Club, and we're so glad you get to have it.
It tastes good now, but I want to drink this in 20 years.
This is a Pinot that will... Is this the most age-worthy of all of our Pinots?
Yeah, it might be the DRC of Samsara.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So our next wine is the 2018 Syrah from John Sebastiano Vineyard.
So this vineyard is a little bit more inland, so it still has a nice marine influence. We get both Pinot Noir and Syrah and Chardonnay from this vineyard.
So we love John Sebastiano Vineyard all around.
To me, it always gives us the most Northern Rhone style Syrah in our lineup. It's always the least fruit forward, the most charcuterie, smoked meat, briny olive, a lot of saline character. That's what I look for. Yeah.
And the fruit's here, but it's balanced with all those other flavors. That is yummy. That'll be a great Thanksgiving wine.
I agree. It's almost Thanksgiving.
It is.